My name is Max Norris, and my partner's name is Samii Stoloff. And we wrote about value creation within the world of NFTs. And we focused on two specific NFT projects, Bored Ape Yacht Club and Creature World. So, this picture of this gold ape wearing a propeller hat with an earring, with a corduroy black turtleneck, with a kazoo sticking out of its mouth, this ape, this cartoon ape, sold for $3 million at Sotheby's. Most people, when they hear that, they can't even begin to wrap their head around it. But a growing amount of people in the NFT space who understand the value of digital assets don't even blink an eye when they hear that final sale price. They move on with their day. And this is with an acknowledgement that this is a new normal in the world. So a little bit of history. Web 1.0, its main function was for users to read stuff and gain information. And Web 1.0 is really the foundation of the internet. Web 2.0 came along, and now users can read and write and form communities through social media. So social media was really the essence of Web 2.0. And now we are very much so at the beginning of Web 3.0, which now we have as users the ability to read, write, and now own things on the internet. And where this is all going is a concept called the metaverse, which is a virtual shared space where people go to communicate, to interact with one another, and for entertainment. And Web 3.0 is very much where we are at right now. And each one of these, the internet, social media, metaverse, it builds on top of one another. So yeah, that's some basic history. Now, it's important to have, before we get into the projects and the NFTs, it's important to have a general foundation of knowledge when it comes to blockchain and the different types of tokens. So blockchain is just a continuous log of information that tracks and records global transactions. There are two types of tokens that are transacted on a blockchain. There are fungible tokens such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Fungible tokens, or the term fungibility, means that two amounts of the same unit can be exchanged seamlessly, versus non-fungible tokens, which are all unique. So these tokens are enabled to represent a variety of digital files, such as digital art, digital collectibles, photos, videos, audio clips, you name it. If it's a digital file, it can be turned into a non-fungible token. And non-fungible tokens can only be transacted on blockchains that have smart contract functionality, such as Ethereum and Solana. Bitcoin does not have smart contract functionality. You may be asking, what is a smart contract? Well, a smart contract is a self-executing contract written in code that carries a specific set of instructions between two or more parties. So we'll get more into smart contracts and their utility a little bit later, but that's generally what a smart contract is. Now, total NFT sales, non-fungible tokens, are expected to pass $17 billion for the 2021 calendar year. This whole bull run, if that's what you want to call it, was triggered by one sale. The piece of art seen to your left is called Everydays. This one artist named Beeple, aka Mike Winkelmann, created a piece of digital art for 5,000 consecutive days, stitched it all together into a collage, and sold it through Christie's auction house for $69 million. And that sale really set the whole NFT market on fire. And that sale vaulted Beeple into the position of being the third most valuable living artist. So yeah, $17 billion in sales expected in the 2021 calendar year for NFTs. Now, there's a specific type of NFT project, which we're going to be focusing on, and that is profile picture projects. So what is a profile picture project? Well, it's a standard format for collectibles, digital collectibles. These projects are typically comprised of 10,000 tokens, all kind of revolving around the same brand. Typically, they are pixelated cartoon characters that come with different traits, which have different levels of rarity. So at the bottom here, this is a project called Cool Cats. There are 10,000 of them. These are just 4 of them, but it gives you an idea of kind of, you know, they all have you can tell they're all from the same brand, but they are all unique and they all have different accessories. The 2 profile picture projects that we're going to be focusing on are Bored Ape Yacht Club and Creature World. Bored Ape Yacht Club was launched in April 2021, created by an entity called Yuga Labs. The mint price, or the original primary sale price, was 0.08 Ether, which at the time equated to $200. The current floor price, and floor means the cheapest one listed for sale, is at 52.88 Ether, which is now worth just over $200,000. Some notable collectors of the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs are Stephen Curry, Jimmy Fallon, and Post Malone. Now, Creature World launched a little bit later this year in August, created by 21-year-old New York-based artist Danny Cole, seen to the right. Creature World is an experimental community-based art project. It's very unique in terms of profile picture projects. The mint price was the same as Bored Ape Yacht Club at 0.08 Ether, and the current floor is 1.7 Ether, which is around $7,000. Notable collectors: Shaquille O'Neal and serial entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk. The current business model for profile picture collectors is quite simple. There's an initial mint, meaning the initial sale of the 10,000 tokens. Both of these projects sold out and raised 800 Ether, which is now worth $3.2 million. So the primary sale is the largest capital raise for these projects. And then you have secondary sales. And you go back to the smart contracts, and the smart contracts allow creators to earn royalties on every secondary sale. So on every secondary sale, the Bored Ape Yacht Club project team, they earn 2.5%, and the Creature World team earns 7% on every secondary sale. Those are the 2 main sources of revenue, and the 2 main critical components to the business model. But there are also additional sources of revenue, such as merchandise sales, secondary collections, meaning utilizing the smart contract. Again, the project teams may airdrop an additional NFT to all of the token holders, which is a very cool thing you can do now. And then the last is in real life events. Typically, the projects don't charge their token holders for entrance into the events, but they may charge outsiders who, they may charge for general admission to the events, which definitely is a part of the business model. Key groups. There are 4 key groups to these profile picture projects, key groups of experiencers, if you will. There are the creators, the team behind the project. There's the token holders, the influencers, and the corporate partners. And typically, the corporate partners team up with the project team to host events. They also connect influencers to the project themselves, which is a very critical key activity here, as influencers really drive these brands in a lot of ways. We're going to be looking at 3 areas of interest. So there's virtual experiences, there's in real life events, and then there is brand building. In terms of virtual experiences, both Bored Ape Yacht Club and Creature World have done a tremendous job of creating really digitally native experiences for their token holders, and they're really creative. They're really based in creativity and collaboration. Bored Ape Yacht Club, what they did is they said, okay, if you own a Bored Ape token, you have access to what we're calling the bathroom, which was a virtual representation of a bathroom wall, where every 15 minutes, token holders can change a color of one of the pixels. And the end result is what you see here, prominently featuring Donkey Kong and Homer Simpson. But it's just a really cool way to create a piece of art. It's a decentralized, community-based, gatekept way of doing it. Very, very innovative. And then you have Creature World, Creature Playground, and what the Creature World team did is they airdropped every holder one of 7 pieces to this Creature Playground, and they said, look, if you can team up with other token holders and somehow get all 7 of these components into a single Ethereum wallet, every participant will get something in return. And that something turned out to be a physical print of what you see on the bottom right of your screen, which is the complete creature playground. So every participant of the activity got a physical print of that signed by the artist, Danny Cole. So just very cool ways in which these projects are going about creating virtual experiences, which are creative and collaborative amongst their communities. Secondly, in real life events, there's two approaches that are taken here. Bored Ape Yacht Club pretty much only lets token holders into their events. They really take gatekeeping to the extreme. On the other hand, Creature World is always open to the general public, and they never charge people to get into their events. So there's just two different unique approaches here. Neither is right or wrong, but there's just a clear differentiation between how the projects go about putting on events, parties, intimate gatherings, you name it. And then there's brand building. So a key component to brand building is whether or not a project grants its token holders commercial rights, meaning can the token holders use the brand, the project's brand, for their own ventures. And in the case of Bored Ape Yacht Club, that is the case. In Creature World, that is not the case. But here you have Bored Ape Yacht Club, where their token holders are creating, to the left, an entertainment production company, and to the right, a wine company, utilizing the Bored Ape brand and further spreading, the Bored Ape community around. It's definitely a way to gain more exposure to the core project by creating these kind of derivative companies, if you will. And also with brand building, it's really an activity. It's really a chain of value creation that includes all four key groups to these projects. You have the creators, the token holders, the influencers, and the corporate partners all interacting together. Opportunities. There's three main opportunities we see here: IP rights, content creation, and play to earn gaming. With IP rights, again, just touching on this, projects either grant no rights at all, commercial rights, or in some cases, even Creative Commons licenses to their project. And Creative Commons licenses basically say whether you own the token or not, you have a right to utilize the brand in any way you want, as long as it's not damaging to the brand, essentially. And then in terms of commercial rights, our argument is that all projects at a minimum should grant commercial rights, because this really allows this decentralized brand building to take place. This bottom-up approach to co-creation is really only allowed through commercial rights. So we kind of agree with the Bored Ape Yacht Club approach more so than we do the Creature approach, which grants no IP rights to its holders. Content creation, another big opportunity. There's a huge opportunity for decentralized content creation, meaning token holders can vote on the plot of whatever piece of content the project team is creating. So whether that's a cartoon or a comic book series or a more substantial film or television series, anything, it's definitely possible for people who own pieces of the project to vote on the outcomes, to vote on the plot of these pieces of content, and then they can share their royalties amongst the token holders. The token holders can profit off of the success of these pieces of content. So there's just a lot of things that you can do with content creation in terms of profile picture projects. To the right is just one example of a Creature World little cartoon. I don't know, I just thought it was cool to throw in there. And then the last one is play to earn gaming. Play to earn gaming kind of, I don't want to say made famous by Axie Infinity, but definitely Axie Infinity brought an entirely new meaning to play to earn gaming. They really did it right. They expanded the genre tenfold. And what play to earn gaming is, basically, by playing the game, you can earn real world value. You can earn tokens that have substantial value. And this incentivizes the community to participate. And just as far as profile picture goes, you can never go wrong with increased participation, especially when you're rewarding the token holders with more value for doing so. The big takeaway here is the future of brands revolve around a bottom-up approach where communities are given agency to lead the creative process. Co-creation of value between brands and their communities will continue to be a growing trend in the future.